The Cubs destroyed the Baltimore Orioles yesterday to complete a 3-game sweep of perhaps the best team in baseball. Now they head to St. Louis for 4 games in 3 days as this pivotal stretch continues. That and more on the Cubs baseball channel. Make sure to like and subscribe. Get in that comment section. Let us know how you're feeling about this team as they head to St. Louis on a 4-game win streak. Here is your invitation to our show. What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Cubs baseball channel. Break the brooms out. The Cubs sweep the Orioles. My name is Anthony Pasquale on Twitter at ant_Pasquale3. Speaking of Twitter, the Cubs baseball channel is on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Find us on there, Cubs baseball channel. We're going to take some of our stuff off of YouTube and kind of clip it and put it on those other channels. So make sure to follow us on there, engage with us, and spark up some good Cubs conversation on there as well. But welcome to the Cubs baseball channel. We have an awesome bit of news to talk about. The Cubs sweep the Baltimore Orioles. Now, look, this season looked bleak at various points in June and May, and they did not play good baseball for over 2 months. I understand that. But looking at the way that they just played against the Baltimore Orioles, how could you not be drinking the Kool-Aid? What more do you need to see to think this team can contend? This team could do something in the playoffs if they get there. I understand there's still a lot of work left to do. They have to dig themselves out of a hole that they put themselves in. But the fact of the matter is, watching the way they hit, watching the way they fielded, and especially watching the way they've pitched against the Baltimore Orioles, who in many people's eyes are a favorite to win the World Series, how could you not even think for a little bit that this team is capable of that? Obviously, the Baltimore Orioles have done it for 3.5, 4 months now. The Cubs have looked like this for about a week. But the fact of the matter is it's in there. And maybe it took the potential of selling at the trade deadline, just like last year, to bring it out of them. But this Cubs baseball team, if we've been watching them play like this since April, we'd be talking about them as World Series favorites too. That's how dominant they look. The Cubs have now won 4 ball games in a row, dating back to the series finale on Sunday against the Angels. So on the 4th of July, you beat the Phillies 10-2. Then on Friday last week at Wrigley Field, Justin Steele dominates complete game. Then you drop that game on Saturday. Then Sunday, you beat the Angels. You go into Baltimore and you sweep them. They're red hot right now, this Cubs team, and it's happening from top to bottom. But in my opinion, this all starts with Justin Steele. Justin Steele is a bona fide ace in our sport. And he told the Cubs a few weeks ago, fired up in Milwaukee, to wake the F up. They woke up, and they've woken up in a big way, rattling off 4 wins and now 6 out of the last 7 ball games. But looking at Justin Steele, we saw him finish 5th in the NL Cy Young last year and really emerge as an ace in 2023. And he's followed that up here in 2024. His season ERA has now dropped to 2.71 after 7 shutout innings. He was only at 70 pitches. He probably could have went back-to-back complete games for the first time since Corey Kluber in 2017. But it's not just this year and half of last year. Justin Steele has a 2.69 ERA since late June of 2022. We're looking at over 2 years of Justin Steele pitching like one of the best arms in baseball. He doesn't get enough credit. He should be an all-star this year, just like he was last year. But he goes out there every time out, gives your ball club a chance to win. And he's doing so this year as a huge leader in the clubhouse. And he's a big reason why the Cubs are playing better baseball as of late. He just got his 2nd win of the season. His ERA would be 2nd in the National League if he qualified. I believe he needs to pitch 7 more innings to qualify. It's all based on the amount of games any particular team has played. But the fact of the matter is, Justin Steele has been awesome. He is squaring away one of the best pitchers in our game. He is an ace. He is a top, pick a number, whatever number. He's a top that pitcher in baseball. He was so good yesterday. Happy birthday to him and his son, Bo. They share a birthday. Last year, he got to pitch on the All-Star game during his birthday. Yesterday, he pitched a 7 shutout against the Baltimore Orioles on his birthday. Congratulations to Justin Steele. You've got a longtime fan in me and this channel, but man, is he a huge reason why the Cubs are finding some success. And the other huge part of it, the Cubs offense is on fire. The Cubs in 3 games outscored Baltimore 21-2. Obviously a 19-run swing in the run differential, but to dominate a team that good is immensely impressive. They tallied 38 hits in 3 games, and it was top to bottom production. Michael Busch had a 4-hit game in the opener, 2 hits 2 nights ago, 2 hits yesterday. He was sensational, 8 hits in 3 games. His season average is up to 278. Seiya Suzuki had 3 extra base hits yesterday, had an RBI double, another RBI double, and an RBI triple, all leading to Cubs runs. Ian Happ had another RBI. He's now up to 56 on the season. He also had that 3-run homer in game 1 of the series. Dansby Swanson is swinging a better bat. He had 2 hits 2 nights ago, including a flyout to the warning track. Yesterday had a flyout to the warning track and 2 hits, including his 9th homer of the season. Nico Hoerner got on base twice at the top of the lineup. Just top to bottom, you've been seeing production from this team. And the way that they've been able to pass the baton in the lineup is what they were missing in all of May and June. And all it takes is a little bit of a different approach. It seems like everybody is more committed to putting the ball in play and taking it the other way. When you do that, you eliminate the strikeouts, which automatically makes you a better hitting team with runners in scoring position. And all of a sudden, they're just moving around the bases, station to station, and you're getting huge runs out of this team. You had 10 against the Phillies the other day, 9 on Tuesday against Baltimore, 8 yesterday, and an 8-0 shutout. And then, of course, 5 runs against the Angels in a pair of those games as well. This offense is starting to come around. Like I mentioned, Dansby Swanson is swinging it better. If he breaks out of his funk, that could go a long way for this Cubs team, especially with Cody Bellinger injured. You're missing your 3-hole hitter. Seiya Suzuki slid up to 3. Ian Happ slid up to 4. And they both performed pretty well yesterday. Michael Busch looks cemented in that 2 role and seems to be handling it very well. But with Bellinger injured, obviously it complicates things in 2 ways. One, it makes trying to avoid selling harder because he's one of your best players and you need him out there. But 2, it makes selling harder because he's your best trade chip to sell. So him on the shelf, the 10-day injury list at the time, he'll at least be shut down through after the All-Star break. It'll mean some more playing time for Crow-Armstrong in center, obviously, and Alexander Canario against lefties, but it also probably means some more of Miles Mastrobuoni, and he's been good, back-to-back 2-hit games, playing really good defense at third. But without Bellinger, the lineup is just a little bit shorter. They looked great yesterday. I hope they can keep it up, but that'll be something to keep an eye on for sure as the Cubs go into this pivotal series against the Cardinals. They're currently 9 games back in the NL Central and just 3 games back in the National League wildcard. A 4-game win streak for the Cubs has jumped them over the Nationals and I believe the Giants, put them into a tie with the Giants. They've hopped the Nationals, and they're in a tie with the Reds as well. All of a sudden, and you're just 3 games back of that final spot. The Cardinals, of course, second in the National League wild card. The Cubs are chasing 4 games from them. If you do the math, there's a 4-game series coming up with the Cardinals. If you go on a win streak, you sweep them too, you're tied with the Cardinals, not only for that second wild card position, but probably second for the NL Central, barring what the Pirates and Reds do the rest of this week. These numbers continue to rise. It's still not pretty. It's not perfect. There's a long way to go, but this is much better than it was earlier this week. The Cubs with a 13.5% chance to make the playoffs and a 4.2% chance to win the NL Central. Cubs take on the Cardinals tonight at 7:15. It's game 1 of a 4-game set. Like I mentioned, in the National League Central standings, the Cardinals are 5 games back of the Brewers, and the Cubs are 9 games back, meaning there are 4 games separating the Cardinals and the Cubs. Obviously, if you can sweep the Cardinals, you'll be tied with them and looking really good heading into the All-Star break. I understand there's a doubleheader mixed in there. The Cubs don't have their best pitchers going. A sweep is lofty. If you take 3 out of 4, you pick up 2 games on the Cardinals. That helps. You just cannot lose this series. And a split would feel like a loss because you'd go into the break still 4 back of the Cardinals. But it's all relying on one man's shoulders today to start the series off right. That's Kyle Hendricks. He's 1-7 on the year with a 7.53 ERA. has had his well-documented fair share of struggles, but the Cubs need a strong outing out of Hendricks to set the tone for this series. Kudos to Tyone, Imanaga, and Steele for preserving this bullpen a little bit heading into this 4-game series in 3 days. They're going to probably need all the help they can get out of the bullpen, but Hendricks goes today, and you have to hope he can give you some quality innings against the Cardinals. He does have some good success against the Cardinals so far in his career. Arenado, Carlson, Carpenter, Crawford, Goldschmidt, Nootbaar, Wynn, all of those guys hitting below 300 and below 250 for a majority of them against Hendricks in their career. Cubs facing Sonny Gray, one of the better pitchers in baseball, 9-5 on the year with a 3.30 ERA. He's been trouble against the Cubs, whether he's pitched in the American League, on the Reds, or now the Cardinals. But there's a few Cubs that have some pretty good numbers against him. Ian Happ is hitting 462 against Sonny Gray. And then Dansby Swanson hitting 333 and 9 at-bats. Not bad from Swanson. And then Nico Hoerner has a couple of base knocks against Sonny Gray as well. So it'll be interesting as we keep our eye on this series. The Cubs are going to take on Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and Miles Michaelis the rest of the way. The Cubs have not yet announced their probables for the rest of this series, but it's as big as it gets. It's do or die time if you want to continue to prove to not only the fan base, but the front office, and specifically Jed Hoyer, who's going to be making a lot of decisions at the end of this month, that this team is good enough to make the playoffs. You got to keep winning, and it's going to have to happen within the division. So that's what the Cubs have on their plate today. We're rooting for you, Kyle. We believe in you, and we hope that you can shut down the Cardinals and start this series off right. But, guys, what an awesome series against Baltimore. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Cubs Baseball channel. We appreciate every like, every subscription, every time you get in that comment section, every time you follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, everything in between. We just appreciate being a part of this Cubs Baseball channel family, and for that, we say thank you to you guys. Cubs swept the Orioles. Now they take on the Cardinals for a crucial 4-game set. Let's hope they can continue to put dubs in the win column. That's what we're going to be rooting for. And hopefully when we talk to you tomorrow, it'll be after a win over St. Louis. Go Cubs.